Welcome to U.S. Homeless Stories.
U.S. Homeless Stories takes you to Los Angeles, the city of dreams, and the city with the largest homeless population in the United States. More than 75,000 people are experiencing homelessness across Los Angeles County. Thousands live unsheltered, sleeping on sidewalks, in tents, vehicles, and beneath freeways. Not hidden from view, but spread across neighborhoods from downtown to Hollywood. In Los Angeles, homelessness is part of the landscape. Tents line entire blocks. Belongings are stacked against fences and storefronts. People wake early to move camps, avoid citations, or search for food and restrooms. Sleep is fragmented. Health declines. Survival becomes a daily routine. Substance use is deeply intertwined with life on the street. For many, addiction is not the cause, but the consequence, intensified by trauma, instability, and the absence of consistent treatment. Without housing, recovery becomes fragile and often out of reach. Stay with us until the end, as U.S. Homeless Stories confronts the human reality behind homelessness in Los Angeles. Subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories to keep these stories visible. Stories too many have learned to ignore. 1. Los Angeles, center of wealth, with America's largest homelessness crisis. Los Angeles pulses with the glamour of Hollywood, generating billions in entertainment revenue yearly. Yet it hosts America's deepest homelessness crisis, exposing the raw human cost of survival in a divided city. The 2025 LA County count revealed 72,308 people without stable shelter, a 4% drop from before, while the city tallied 43,699, easing 3.4%. Still a heavy share of California's 187,000 unhoused in 2024. These stats hit home, representing lives frayed by relentless uncertainty. Housing instability fuels this, with volatile markets making affordability a myth. In Beverly Hills, homes median over $3.5 million. Worlds apart from Echo Park's $2,800 average one-bedroom rents that devour incomes. Market swings and economic dips evict service workers swiftly, scattering families into the unknown. On U.S. Homeless Stories, voices share the eviction sting, belongings hastily packed as stability shatters. Street life in tents and encampments turns the outdoors into a harsh domain. Elements assault without pause, blistering heat parching throats. Rains drenching tarps into soggy misery. Nights of guarded rest amid noise and exposure. Routines erode, meals become scavenged, hygiene a public ordeal, dignity worn thin by stares and isolation. It's the quiet fatigue in weary eyes, the spirit's slow fade under constant adaptation, while where a dry spot or kind gesture becomes a rare anchor. From my perspective, these divides highlight life's fragility, inspiring empathy that strengthens bonds, a call to appreciate our shared vulnerabilities. As we move to mental health aspects, reflect on the instability's toll. How do housing shifts affect belonging in a place like LA? If these insights resonate, like to connect and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories for more on America's human stories. 2. Mental health crisis in the homeless community. In the lively pulse of Los Angeles, where the city's constant energy can inspire yet exhaust, a more personal storm brews for those without shelter, the subtle, heartfelt interplay of mental health struggles and substance use that transforms simple days into quiet feats of endurance. Far from just reports, these are the real stories of people clinging to hope amid inner tempests that make street life feel even more daunting. Insights from the RAND Corporation and UCSF's 2025 California statewide study on homelessness gently reveal that 25% to 51% of unhoused individuals in LA County navigate serious mental health issues, like lingering anxiety or emotional valleys, often entwined with substance use, affecting 27% to 46%, numbers that quietly astonish, showing how these linked challenges create knots hard to loosen. Downtown LA hospitals bear over 10,000 such visits annually, a soft echo of the need for compassionate, ongoing care. Tracing back, the 1980s deinstitutionalization closed care doors without enough community welcomes, leaving lasting voids in support. In breezy Venice Beach, where sea air meets daily hustle, Clinic waits average 3 months, amplifying isolation's gentle grip. Substance use layers this tenderly. LAHSAs. 2025 data notes, 14,893 unhoused folks, 22% total. Managing disorders, down 14% from last year, with methamphetamine commonly cited. UCSF adds that 37% used illicit drugs recently, a 65% lifetime, and 27% began after homelessness, a soft nudge that hardship can spark temporary escapes. For those in it, it's an invisible burden, thoughts that wander into concern or dim into stillness. Briefly soothed by substances, but often deepening the crave for true bonds. Whispered nights of unrest. Fatigued days sans a warm nook. See the quiet resolve in a passerby's soft look, grasping faint hopes, or a shared glance sparking light through the mist. On U.S. Homeless Stories, these narratives illuminate the human warmth, where internal flows meet external tides, forging strength breath by breath. From my perspective, these moments show our inner realm's delicate grace. A kind gesture or word can mend quietly, a gift we all hold. Life's soft rhythms could draw any of us toward such comforts, inviting us to foster warm, understanding havens. On U.S. Homeless Stories, these insights draw us nearer to America's enduring spirit. Linger with us to sense these bonds deepen. How might sharing a quiet moment uplift someone close by? If these warm tales touch you, like to hold them close and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories for deeper dives into human journeys. Three, tensions between the homeless and surrounding communities. In the woven fabric of Los Angeles neighborhoods, where everyday paths cross and lives brush against one another, a soft undercurrent of tension simmers between those without homes and the folks living nearby. A gentle reminder of how shared spaces can spark feelings of disconnect, yet also hold the potential for deeper understanding. It's not just about the practical side. It's the human heart of it all, where worries over crowded sidewalks or scattered belongings stir up emotions on both ends, leaving everyone yearning for a bit more peace in their daily rhythm. Discrimination adds a poignant layer, a quietly weighing on hearts already heavy. A 2024 study from UCLA's Fielding School of Public Health shares a touching insight. 32% of unhoused people in LA County felt the sting of daily discrimination in the past month, while 54% faced it weekly, numbers that touch the soul, showing how quick judgments can make someone feel like a shadow in their own city. This hits harder for communities of color. The 2025 UCSF California statewide study on homelessness gently notes, Black individuals represent 26% of those unhoused, far beyond their 6% share of the state's population. A quiet echo of deeper biases that turns simple encounters into moments of quiet hurt. In South LA, where community talks try to mend these rifts, the back and forth lingers, with over 5,000 yearly cleanup calls in places like Hollywood, reflecting residents' quiet pleas for order, but often leaving the unhoused feeling even more adrift, without warm hands extended in support. Think of the soft ache in a person's chest as they gather their things amid raised voices, the longing for a nod of recognition on familiar streets, or the shared spark when a kind exchange breaks through the divide. These tender moments call to our common warmth, whispering that we all play a part in softening those edges with gentle inclusion. Life's soft turns, an unexpected hardship, might one day place us in need of that same understanding, inviting us to cherish the ties that make neighborhoods feel like home. On U.S. Homeless Stories, did these glimpses into connection reveal the gentle pulse of America's communities? Stay with us to feel how we all weave into this story. How might a warm hello brighten a neighbor's day in your world? If these quiet human threads pull at your heart, give a like to hold them close, and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories for more stories that touch the soul. 4. Causes of homelessness. Picture the glittering skyline of Los Angeles, a magnet for ambition and reinvention. Yet beneath it, invisible forces erode the foundations of stability for countless residents. The crisis of homelessness here stems from a web of intertwined causes, where skyrocketing housing costs collide with economic pressures, pushing ordinary people into precarious living. At the forefront is the dire shortage of affordable housing, with Los Angeles County adding only 20,000 new units from 1998 to 2005, while losing 9,000 low-rent options to redevelopment. But the burden deepens with California's notoriously high taxes and escalating cost of living, which amplify the squeeze on everyday budgets. In 2025, the annual household income needed to qualify for a mortgage on a mid-tier home soared to $221,000, more than double the median California household income of $102,000, leaving families grappling with choices between shelter and survival. This shocking disparity means a minimum wage worker in LA would need to clock 87 hours per week just to afford an average one-bedroom apartment, turning the dream of home into an exhausting grind. High state income taxes, peaking at 13.3% for top earners, combined with sales taxes reaching 10.25% in parts of LA, inflate the overall cost of living, making essentials like groceries and utilities feel out of reach. From 2001 to 2023, median rents climbed 23% after inflation adjustments, while incomes rose a mere 5%. And every $100 hike in rent correlates to a 9% uptick in homelessness rates. In neighborhoods like Boyle Heights, gentrification has spiked eviction rates by 15%, displacing longtime families into uncertainty. Economic factors like job instability in retail and hospitality, where unemployment in Skid Row hits 22%, compound this, alongside personal hurdles such as health issues or family strains, often worsened by racial disparities. Latinos comprise 48% of the unhoused, despite similar population shares. Envision a hardworking parent, juggling shifts only to face mounting bills, the weight of exhaustion settling in as nights blur into worries about tomorrow's roof. The street's relentless demands strip away simple joys, like a peaceful meal or restful sleep, fostering a quiet despair that echoes through generations. This reality whispers a truth. Life's unexpected turns, a layoff, a medical bill, could steer any of us towards similar edges, inviting us to reflect on our shared duty to ease such paths. On U.S. Homeless Stories, these insights reveal the human side of America's challenges. Stick with us to uncover the layers that connect us all. How might rising everyday costs affect stability in your own life? If these glimpses into real struggles move you, tap like and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories to journey further into stories of resilience and hope.
Focus.
5. Risks to public safety and hygiene. Walk along the bustling streets of Los Angeles on a typical day, where the energy of the city pulses through every corner. But turn down certain sidewalks and you'll encounter rows of faded tents clustered together, quiet signs of lives held in a delicate balance. This setting brings to light the real risks associated with homelessness, where concerns about public safety and hygiene extend beyond individuals to affect the whole community. It's a story rooted in human experiences, where everyday essentials turn into ongoing struggles, showing just how closely our lives are linked. Hygiene issues often stem from the basic absence of facilities, transforming shared public areas into necessary but makeshift living spaces. In 2025, the city's Department of Sanitation tackled an overwhelming 7,500 cleanup requests in key areas like downtown LA, marking a 20% rise from the previous year, as accumulated waste and scarce restrooms lead to conditions that spark discomfort and broader health concerns. For those without a stable place, this means dealing with the persistent challenge of finding a spot to clean up, or the ongoing discomfort of dirt building up after long days exposed to the elements, gradually wearing away at one's sense of self and making routine acts like preparing food feel distant and unattainable. Think of a young person carrying their few belongings in a worn bag, then stepping carefully around damp spots from recent rain mixed with litter, their gaze reflecting the fatigue of a life where basic cleanliness is a hard-won achievement. Safety matters intersect here as well, with dense encampments in spots like Venice Beach, creating moments of tension and exposure for everyone involved. Data from the Los Angeles Fire Department showed a surprising 16% jump in emergency responses in these zones during 2025, while businesses in MacArthur Park experienced a 15% decline in foot traffic linked to obstructed paths and general unease. On a personal level, for the unhoused, It involves that constant awareness of surroundings, staying watchful against weather shifts, unfamiliar faces, or the unpredictability of evening hours, all while holding on to the deep desire for a secure space to unwind. Consider an older individual wrapping themselves in a thin blanket, their expression carrying the marks of steadfast patience, or a small group sharing quiet words to ease the day's stresses. These are the lived realities behind the data, filled with a resilience that speaks to enduring human spirit amid hardship. These situations evoke a natural pull toward mutual care, gently showing that we all contribute to creating more supportive environments. It's also a subtle note that unexpected events, such as financial setbacks or health changes, could place anyone in comparable circumstances, encouraging a thoughtful approach grounded in understanding. On U.S. homeless stories, these details shed light on the quieter aspects of life in America. Stay engaged with us to connect more deeply with these shared human threads. How might adding more accessible public amenities help both residents and those without homes in your neighborhood? If these genuine accounts strike a chord with you, show your support with a like and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories to continue exploring stories that highlight our common humanity. Six, current efforts and policies. In the vibrant mosaic of Los Angeles neighborhoods, a web of committed efforts and policies quietly builds bridges towards stability for those facing homelessness. These initiatives blend public resources with heartfelt community involvement, aiming to restore security and open doors to brighter days. Leading the charge is the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LAHSA, which boosted shelter beds to over 25,500 countywide in 2026, a 12% rise from the year before, through programs like the winter shelter adding 400 seasonal spots to provide warmth during cooler times. Beyond the figures, this means offering a haven for individuals weary from nights spent in the open, but where a consistent place to rest can lift the heavy load of daily uncertainty, fostering moments of renewal and small steps forward. State backing strengthens these local moves, with $419 million in homeless housing, assistance, and prevention. HHAP funds announced in early 2026, channeling $328.8 million to LA County for interim housing, rapid rehousing, and resolving encampments, amounts that highlight the scale of need while supporting thousands enduring ongoing challenges. The new Los Angeles County Department of Homeless Services and Housing, launched in 2026 with $908 million from Measure A, coordinates outreach and supportive housing, reaching over 22,000 unsheltered people. For a veteran bearing past weights, this translates to personalized guidance that shifts isolation into progress. Or, for a parent guiding their child through tough times, it brings the comfort of a steady routine filled with possibility. Measure A, voter approved and raising about $1 billion yearly since 2025, allocates 64% to services like rental aid and outreach, with 35% for affordable housing and prevention. Though a projected $303 million shortfall next year underscores the hurdles in maintaining momentum. The 2026 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count, conducted January 20th to 22nd with improved tools and volunteers, collects vital data to direct these aids effectively, helping those who face the daily grind of seeking basics like meals and safety while holding on to their sense of self. These actions reflect our shared ability to support one another, acknowledging that life's surprises, like sudden financial strains, could affect anyone, inspiring a gentle call to collective care. On U.S. Homeless Stories, exploring these dedicated steps uncovers the real people driving change. Stay with us to feel the depth of resilience in America's urban landscapes. What local initiative has inspired hope in your community for those in need? If these glimpses of human effort touch you, like to share the inspiration and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories for more stories of quiet strength. Seven, proposed solutions. In the ever-evolving landscape of Los Angeles, where the push for change meets the quiet persistence of those on the streets, proposed solutions offer a roadmap towards stability, drawing on compassion and practical steps to rebuild lives one at a time. At the forefront is the drive to expand affordable housing, with ambitious goals like constructing over 100,000 units by 2035 in underserved areas such as Watts, where building costs can average a staggering $550,000 per acre, making every project a testament to collective resolve. Recent state investments underscore this urgency. In early 2026, California's governor announced $419 million from the Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention (HH8P) program specifically for Los Angeles, aimed at bolstering interim housing operations and adding up to 3,100 navigation slots to help individuals cut through red tape and secure lasting homes. This funding isn't just numbers on a page, it's a lifeline for people who've spent endless days wandering in search of aid. Their footsteps heavy with the fatigue of isolation and the sting of separation from family, where the simple act of signing a lease could restore a sense of belonging that's been eroded by years of uncertainty. Beyond bricks and mortar, enhancing community health services forms a crucial pillar, with proposals calling for an additional 6,000 slots that weave mental health support into everyday public systems. Building on successful models like Pasadena's mobile clinics that already reach 1,800 people each year. County leaders have rolled out fiscal year 2025 to 26 funding recommendations totaling $908 million, including resources for 7,200 interim housing beds and 7,600 locally funded rental subsidies to swiftly rehouse those who've recently slipped into hardship. For someone who's known the chill of nights without shelter, these initiatives mean more than policy. They represent the chance to reclaim routines, like waking up to familiar walls instead of the dawn's uncertainty, or sharing a meal without the shadow of eviction looming. Long-term visions include strengthening multi-agency partnerships and innovative prevention tools, such as basic income pilots that supported 1,200 low-income households in 2025, alongside new laws effective January 2026, that protect outreach workers from penalties while they deliver essentials like blankets and food to encampments. These efforts highlight the human side of progress, where a veteran piecing together a new chapter finds tailored guidance, or a parent holds their child close in a subsidized space, turning whispers of hope into tangible security. Such proposals tap into our common thread of empathy, gently showing how we can all play a part in nurturing paths forward, especially since life's unforeseen shifts, a mounting bill or sudden job change, might one day test our own footing. On U.S. Homeless Stories, the delving into these forward-looking ideas reveals the heart of America's ongoing journey. Keep following along to see how small ripples can create waves of change. What one supportive measure in your area has brought real relief to those facing tough times? If these visions of hope and action speak to you, add a like to spread the word, and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories to stay connected with narratives that inspire unity. Eight. Conclusion. A prayer. As the lights of Los Angeles dim into the evening hush, casting long shadows over its vast landscape, we come to the heart of what this journey has revealed. A city of dreams intertwined with the quiet struggles of those seeking simply a place to belong. The homelessness crisis here isn't just a distant headline. It's woven into the lives of real people, each carrying stories of endurance, quiet strength, and the unyielding hope for something better. We've explored the layers, from the economic divides that pull families apart to the daily hurdles of finding safety and dignity on the streets. But at its core, this is about humanity, the parent shielding their child from the chill of uncertainty, the individual piecing together a sense of self amid the noise of survival, and the community learning to extend a hand rather than turn away. For those without a home, every dawn brings a fresh reminder of resilience, the small victories in a kind word from a stranger, a warm meal shared, or a moment of rest under the open sky. Yet, it's also the ache of isolation, the longing for walls that offer privacy and peace, and the courage it takes to face another day with grace. And for us as viewers, these stories invite reflection. They show that compassion isn't an abstract ideal, but a choice we make in our everyday interactions, building bridges where divides once stood. In sharing these truths, we honor the voices often unheard. They're reminding ourselves that true connection comes from seeing the shared spark of humanity in one another. This shared path calls us to a deeper sense of responsibility, not out of obligation, but from the gentle pull of our common experiences. Life's unpredictable rhythms mean that moments of vulnerability can visit any of us, urging us to foster environments where support flows freely, like a quiet stream nourishing the ground. On U.S. Homeless Stories, delving into these narratives has been a way to illuminate those paths, encouraging all of us to walk with more awareness and warmth. May a gentle light guide those wandering without shelter, wrapping them in comfort and leading them toward havens of stability and care. May understanding bloom in our hearts, inspiring acts of kindness that ripple outward, creating communities where no one feels forgotten. And may hope be the anchor for all, turning today's challenges into tomorrow's stories of renewal. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for staying with us through this exploration. Your time and attention mean the world, as it helps amplify these important voices. If these reflections have touched you, consider liking to spread the message further and subscribing to U.S. Homeless Stories to join us in more journeys of empathy and insight. What simple act of kindness could you offer today to someone in need around you?